Are you ready to meet the NBA's most wonderfully peculiar athletes? At number 5, we have Russell Westbrook. Did you know he writes with his left hand but shoots hoops with his right? But that doesn't hold against what I'm about to tell you. When a journalist noticed this quirk while he was signing some papers, the player went ballistic, demanding it be kept out of the article. In fact, when the journalist tried to negotiate, Westbrook spewed out a nasty response that had everyone laughing out loud. Yet even that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this weird athlete. Westbrook's obsession with timing takes the game to a whole new level. While playing for Oklahoma City Thunder, he insisted that his team start their practice layups precisely when the clock struck 6:17. Why 6:17, you ask? Well, that's a mystery we're still trying to crack. And let's not forget about his money matters. Despite earning more than $44 million last year alone, Westbrook is always handling all his bills on his own. In fact, you can easily catch him scrutinizing every expense, even haggling over the tiniest details right in the lunchroom. Moving ahead to number 4, we have James Harden. This NBA superstar not only dominates the court with his skills, but also owns a closet filled to the brim with some of the wildest and most stylish clothes you can imagine. And let's not forget about that beard. It's become an icon in its own right, one of the craziest and most famous beards in NBA history. In fact, Harden's facial masterpiece has opened doors to numerous endorsement deals, and one of them is as sweet as can be, quite literally. In a strange advertisement, Harden reveals the contents of his brain, and guess what's on his mind? Ferrera Candy's Trolley Sour Bright Crawlers. The word is that he even keeps candy in his basketball and munches on it while driving toward the hoop, which is quite a unique way to satisfy a sweet tooth if you ask me. But it doesn't end there. Harden's beard became a star of its own, featuring in a digital video and even holding a mock press conference without the man himself. And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, the beard inspired its own line of gummy candy called Trolley Sour Bright Weird Beards, James Harden Edition. Talk about taking weirdly awesome to beardly awesome. But hold on, there's more to Harden's eccentricity. He and his close friends have their own secret language, complete with peculiar words like falo, which apparently means excessively flashy. They've been speaking this unique dialect since high school, adding an extra layer of quirkiness to his already fascinating persona. Up next at number 3 is JJ Redick. So the weird thing about this former shooting guard is his obsession for organization that reaches new heights. This Philadelphia 76ers player takes meticulous planning to a whole new level, and it's not just about basketball. From naps to socks, Redick plans it all. He even goes as far as meticulously deciding which socks to wear. And he doesn't leave it up to chance when it comes to meals either. His pre-game routine includes a specific meal: roasted chicken, baked potato, asparagus or broccoli, and a cup of coffee. That's quite the combination if you ask me. In fact, during one unfortunate game day when his dinner arrived 20 minutes late, it completely threw him off his game, resulting in a 24-point loss for his team. As game time approaches, Redick's warm-up routine kicks into high gear precisely 90 minutes before tip-off. Stretching, practice shots, and even the type of granola bar he eats, it's all part of a plan. And it doesn't stop there. Even at home, his closet must maintain military-grade precision. But amidst all the planning and precision, Redick does find room for spontaneous adventure. For instance, there's this one time when he was vacationing with his family in North Carolina, when he joined his grandmother on a trip to a tattoo parlor. While she got a butterfly inked on her shoulder, Redick opted for a design that incorporated a Bible verse reference and the Japanese word for courage. It seems even the most organized minds need a little bit of spontaneous ink now and then. Moving ahead, we have Dennis Rodman at number 2. You've got to give it to this guy when it comes to being one of the NBA's all-time eccentric characters. While most players announce their engagements to a specific person, Rodman took a different route during the 1996 offseason. He made a grand announcement about getting married, leaving everyone guessing who the lucky bride would be. Rumors swirled, connecting him to famous names like Princess Diana, Julia Roberts, Cindy Crawford, and even Oprah Winfrey. But when the big day arrived, Rodman shocked everyone. Instead of walking down the aisle, he paraded around New York City dressed in a bridal gown, proclaiming that he'd chosen to marry himself. Now that's a twist no one saw coming. And if that wasn't enough, he then casually attended a book signing for his autobiography aptly titled Bad As I Wanna Be. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Rodman's eccentricities. He dated the equally eccentric Madonna, and his hair became a canvas for a rainbow of colors. He kicked a cameraman in the crotch, starred alongside Jean-Claude Van Damme in an action movie, and even ventured into the wrestling world, teaming up with Hulk Hogan in the WWE. And brace yourself for this one, during his retirement years, Rodman took on the role of commissioner for something called the Lingerie Football League. Yeah, you heard that right. But perhaps the most mind-boggling twist in Rodman's story is his unexpected connection to North Korea. In 2013, he made his first trip to the closed-off nation, embarking on what can only be described as basketball diplomacy. Rodman formed a surprising friendship with none other than Kim Jong-un, proclaiming the North Korean leader as his friend for life. And drum rolls, at number 1 is Daryl Dawkins. Once upon a time, there was a basketball player named Daryl Dawkins, whose dunks were so powerful that he had a habit of shattering backboards. This remarkable talent earned him the nickname Chocolate Thunder, a moniker the legendary Stevie Wonder bestowed upon him. It's worth noting that, being visually impaired, Stevie Wonder never actually saw Dawkins play. Yeah, what a fascinating twist of fate. Although Dawkins didn't smash backboards as frequently as the legend suggests, his ferocious slams led the NBA to reinforce their hoops with breakaway rims and shatter-resistant backboards. But it wasn't just his thunderous dunks that made Dawkins stand out. It was his vibrant personality and eccentric behavior that made him a fan favorite during the groovy 1970s. He even gave his dunks catchy names like the Lookout Below and the Yo Mama. His impact on the game was so significant that Shaquille O'Neal himself referred to Dawkins as the father of power dunking, proudly declaring himself as one of Dawkins' basketball sons. Interestingly, Dawkins also holds a unique record in the NBA. He still reigns supreme in the record books for the most personal fouls in a single season. While that might not be considered weird, it's his claim of being an actual space alien from the planet Lovetron that genuinely adds a strange twist to his persona. Dawkins often embraced this strange identity, even going as far as to create a whole interstellar lifestyle. He introduced the concept of interplanetary funkmanship and spoke about his adventures with his girlfriend, hilariously nicknamed Juicy Lucy. Sadly, Dawkins left us in 2015, but not before embarking on some genuinely bizarre post-basketball endeavors. In one peculiar chapter of his life, he guest judged a boxing match between Mr. T and Rowdy Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2. And to make things even more extraordinary, he shared the judging panel with the iconic jazz legend Cab Calloway. Now, are these NBA athletes indeed the weirdest players to have ever graced the court?